Hi, I'm Lost Elements, and this is a short video regarding a World War II Mark II Churchill tank just off the South Downsware Kithurst Hill, near Storrington in West Sussex, southern England. It is missing many familiar parts, including the turret. This, I understand, was taken by Bovington Tank Museum in Dorset, and one can see that towards the end of its life, the tank has been used for target practice. The story of the wartime tank on the South Downs goes back to the autumn of 1940 when the 14th Canadian Army Tank Battalion descended on southern England. They were posted there for basic training to Borden Camp in Hampshire and were issued with their first tanks, antiquated French Renaults and a pocketful of British Matildas. By the summer of 1941, the 14th Canadian Army Tank Battalion, or the Calgary Regiment as it had become known, had moved on to Seaford in East Sussex and formed part of the 2nd Canadian Army Division. They had now lost their obsolete training vehicles and had entered in the ranks of the armoured units within the Free Polish and British Army. They were then issued with up to 3 dozen Churchill Mark I tanks. A few months later, at the beginning of 1942, the Churchill Mark I's had already been replaced by the Churchill Mark II's. All in all, the Canadians had received some 54 Churchills by the 15th of May 1942. Calgary Regiment was now in the process of practicing tactics at the deserted old village of Tidemills near Seaford, in readiness for the intended excursion on Dieppe. During the Canadians' training for the all-important Dieppe raid, a squadron discovered they had encountered a Deadhead, a tank with a critical breakdown. Due to the imminent Dieppe attack and the anticipated supply of the upgraded Churchill Mark III on the horizon, the unfortunate Deadhead was considered deadweight and not worth repairing, and subsequently withdrawn from service. The Churchill Mark II Deadhead was unceremoniously passed over to the infantry units of the 2nd Canadian Army Division, who had a use for it. They transported the reject to the infantry training grounds above nearby Storrington in West Sussex. The offending vehicle was sighted on the downland at Kithurst, and its only use was to suffer the indignity of target range practice, to be aimed at by Piat anti-tank weapons. At the end of the hostilities, the Canadians returned once more to their homeland. The Deadhead had survived being fired upon and stood abandoned on the Sussex downland. A Storrington resident, who was a member of the clearing up operations team after the war, recalls that they did not know what to do with the bullet-ridden tank, so they tipped it into a nearby bomb crater and then shoveled earth over it in an attempt to hide it. Over the years, some enthusiasts seeking wartime memorabilia attempted to exhume the rusty tank from its grave. Imagine the difficulty encountered in digging up a tank. It was not until 20th of November 1993 that the tank was finally retrieved by the REME, Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. Even though they only rolled the rusted relic to the surface of the edge of the field where it can still be found today, it is still a good sight to see. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, or at least found it interesting to listen to, and I'll see you next time. Also, any pictures you see in this photo that are of the tank, not the shrapnel or parts of it that I dug up, none of that belongs to me. I do not own any of those photos. Obviously, if you do, just comment and I'll remove it. Alright, thank you for listening. Hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you next time.